Good day, good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. Guys, welcome to our next session in the affordable housing tour, if you will, that we've been doing. We've been doing a series of information, education, presentations about affordable housing, options and, just all those things that, if you will, are in theory attainable or affordable housing. So today's session is maximizing your home ownership opportunities. So we're going to go ahead and do a deep dive into this. Understand if you're watching this live, you can maybe comment, check in, here or there, if you will. Outside of that, if this is a recording that you're watching, because we will have this up continuously for replay so people can continue to get the information. Guys, thank you for showing up and welcome. And you can always reach out to me otherwise. So we'll go ahead and get started with today's presentation. So my name is Colin Millette. I am the broker and owner of Exit Realty Low Country Group in North Charleston, South Carolina, beautiful North Charleston, South Carolina. And today's session is maximizing your home ownership opportunities. A quick reminder, a little bit of housekeeping, if you will. If you have missed the previous videos, the previous presentations, if you will, in this series, please make sure you go back to the page that you're respectively seeing it on. Look for it. Please reach out. We want to make sure that you guys are getting this information. It is wonderful information. There's such misinformation in regards to affordable housing, and this is an opportunity for us to clear it up. But we're also introducing some other options. So it's not just about, affordable housing. It's about how you can get a home at an affordable price. And that may be other options. That may be manufactured, maybe modular, maybe you want custom built, whatever it is, we can figure that out. But we've definitely been touching on some of these various things. So we'll go ahead, if you will, and go ahead and get started. All right. So guys, again, my name is Colin Millette. I'm the broker and owner of Exit Realty Low Country Group, beautiful North Charleston, South Carolina. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing here going. So we want to kind of do a quick step back, if you will, and kind of talk about or touch on, where we should be if you've kind of watched us in order, making sure, one, that you understand, you know where you are. So making sure that you understand what your options are. If you watched the previous presentations and you've seen some of that stuff and kind of have an idea of, hey, that's me. You need to make sure that you understand and understand you've seen some of the programs that exist, down payment assistance. I've used a specific example. It's one of the most recent examples of a $200,000 purchase, house subsidized $160 some odd thousand, making it 200 from 300 and change, and 20 some odd thousand dollars, over $20,000 in down payment assistance on top of that. So if you caught any of that, then the next thing you know what it takes. You know what your credit needs to be, income to qualify for stuff like that. And we're trying to demystify this stuff. I mean, it's such a mystery around it. However, we have to be mindful of the fact that every program is different. I've said that. I will continue to say that. There is no one size fits all, and not everyone will qualify for all things. But moreover, every situation is different. That is program, that is option, that is any variable that you want to assign to it, things differ. So going back again to where we should be coming into this, you would have laid the groundwork. You've done research. You would have had engagement and conversation with someone who understands and knows about this stuff. So now we're at this point of, now it's time for you to quote unquote pick up and make the move. All right. Now, being aware about options, guys, really and truly is just the beginning, but it only works, only becomes powerful when you pair it with the action. Knowing something and doing nothing is trash. Trash. Knowing something and doing, the Old school players will say, if you knew better, you do better, right? Well, you guys know, so it's time to do better. Word tells you, work faith without, same thing. You know something, you need to do something. So now it's time for us to get going in that particular direction. So understanding that how you maximize your home ownership opportunities is not just about buying a home. It's about making a decision that's right for your budget, that's right for your lifestyle, that's right for your future. Again, you want to make sure that the purchase price is going to fit into the payment, is going to fit into what your monthly budget is. I make this much money, this is how much money I have that I can allocate towards housing, making sure things fit. All right. Needs to be about your lifestyle, making sure that the home supports you and how you live. It does. I mean, if you're renting a place, having a place that you own should be fairly reasonable in comparison to that. Hopefully, it elevates you to the next level, but it should be in proximity or otherwise work for you as far as your commute to work. Where you need to be at for other lifestyle things, whether that be where you go to church, where you play, you pray. Those things come into account, and those should be priorities as well. And then the next thing is for your future. What is it going to look like? Whatever choice and decision that you make today, as far as home ownership, what you buy, how is that going to play into your future? Does that get you to the next property that you're after, you want or may want? How is this going to work yourself forward? Okay. So understand there's no single right option. The best path forward for you is what is best for you. There may be multiple options that are good for you. Maybe it's this home in this location, maybe it's another type of home in a different location. The real estate market, again, is not a one size fit all. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing about that and thinking, or people saying and repeating or thinking that it's one size fit all. You got to buy the same kind of house, you got to use the same kind of loan program, you got to have the same amount of down payment, you got to have the same credit score, all that stuff. There is no one size fits all. So what worked for someone that you know or knew may not be the same thing that works for you. So understand, even though it may be someone close to you. I saw Instagram reel today where someone was, having this conversation. I've been saying this for years, and it's so true. Sometimes you give your dream, your goal, your vision, your I aspire to someone who doesn't have that aspiration, hasn't had that dream, and so forth and so on. And they will sometimes not intentionally, but sometimes intentionally, but not intentionally at all times, talk you out of it. Someone who's never bought a house can't tell you how to buy a house, and they may not encourage you in buying one or owning one because they never did it. They may not understand. They may not know how the loan programs work and all that stuff. So you got to get through the noise, guys. You got to stop casting your vision, your pearls, if you will, among those who don't get it. Make sure that you ignore the pressure, that outside pressure that exists from people. Because some people will make you feel that you got to do what they did. Maybe they had a bigger budget than you and they bought a bigger home. I remember distinctively, and I talk about this fairly often, where I had a client who had a friend who lived in a high end resort area. And when they were building a home in another part of town, their friend was always telling them what they did, how they did it, how they did it. So they were trying to match that same thing, but we're not spending the same amount of money that their friends spent. Understand that your situation is going to be different. Okay. So you need someone knowledgeable to help you through the paths that exist. Essentially, you need your real estate Sherpa. You need someone who understands that, hey, this is how this works. This is what's going to happen here, so forth and so on. So the goal in this whole home ownership thing, guys, is not for you to find, if you will, the perfect option, but the right option, right? I mean, it's not, hey, this may not be the end all be all house. It may not be the home that you live in theory in quote unquote forever. Nonetheless, this may be your opportunity here for you to get the right home. So let's pull it together. This is a recap from some of the other things that we talked about. Maybe you're looking at traditional resale homes, established neighborhoods, maybe move-in ready options, something, quote unquote, with character some people don't want, houses that are not crawl space. Some people don't want a house that is a crawl space. Whatever your preference is, maybe you want something that's more craftsman style, more ranch, more Victorian, more colonial, whatever that is. But understand that that is an option. Maybe you're looking for new construction, maybe builders that are offering incentives on interest rates or otherwise, more modern layouts or things of that nature are more to your liking. Something that is newer that you hope not to have more maintenance to take care of early on. Maybe you're into manufactured or modular. Maybe you want to live further out. Maybe you want a more affordable home, more affordable option, and are considering a manufactured or modular home, brand new, having a lower price point, lower price for entry, if you will, and you couple that with a larger lot or something of that nature, and you're able to get the land and a nice home, maybe even a home of your dreams that kind of fits closer to within your budget. And obviously, with this, we're talking possibly land home packages as well, which is combining the land and the home in one larger, um, larger transaction, if you will. So remember that each path has its trade offs. Again, there's no single option that's perfect, but you got to figure out the right one that's for you. Understanding that traditional homes, oftentimes, especially in current climate, and even still, let's be frank. If wherever you are, your market has its own thing. All right. So if you're in a market outside of what I may make mention of, then understand. Please reach out and I will give you some guidance on what your market is looking like. But overall, real estate is more expensive than what it was, period. Pricing in most areas, most markets, Charleston market, Columbia market, Florence PD market, guys, prices aren't coming down. Myrtle Beach market, Hilton Head, Beaufort area, price, Greenville, prices are not coming down. So understand that pricing tends to increase, has increased, will continue to increase, just at what pace or what rate, and what opportunities exist within that. So traditional homes usually have a moderate to slightly higher price range, new construction as well. Manufactured modular may be lower than that. And then land home varies, obviously, depending upon what you're looking at, how much land you want, how large of a property. Those things will vary. Your location, typically on traditional homes, are going to be in more established areas, areas that's already built up, already been developed, because that's where the homes already are. New construction tends to be more in areas where growth is going, where development is going. There are sometimes infill smaller projects that may go into an existing area or existing neighborhood, kind of tucked in or something. Manufactured modular, that's a little bit more flexible. Typically, manufacturers only going to be outside of city limits or maybe in more rural. Modular can go inside city limits with approvals. Most times they do, but they may be in the rural area as well. And then land home, that's typically going to be more in a rural area, just so you understand. Your traditional resale properties are going to vary in condition. There's going to be some that's going to be updated. And here's this is probably a perfect segue or an opportunity to segue into the fact that nobody has to renovate a house in order to sell it. Guys, look, there's this misnomer, misinformation again, that a seller has to update the house, bring everything up to code, and sell it like it's brand new. No, no. Price will vary because of that, but no. So understand that the condition of the home may vary on a resale, traditional home. New construction is brand new. So you know it's new condition. Manufactured module the same. And land home packages, if you're pulling the home and the stuff all in together, then that's going to be new as well. Traditional homes, you have less flexibility. They are where they are. New construction, you have greater options. Most builders are building a home in one area, maybe building that same or similar home elsewhere. So you have opportunity to kind of move around. Manufactured, again, you have various locations where those can go, where you can put them. And then land home, then your flexibility with that, again, is going to be similar. It's going to be, more options, but obviously more rule. Again, get to the option that fits you better and best. What is familiar? Traditional homes. They're usually in established neighborhoods. You've been walking past them, driving past them, running, biking past them. They're usually close to neighborhoods, with communities, amenities such as retail, shopping, stores, grocery stores. All that stuff is usually already there. Schools are close by. Why? Because the neighborhood is established. You don't see a school being built and then a neighborhood go in. The neighborhood is usually scheduled, established. Otherwise, then you see the school go. All right, because you got to have kids to go to the school. So you're not going to build the school first and then, oh, twiddle my thumbs, I got to wait for children to come. No, 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 no. You're gonna have the neighborhood going in before. So understand that. Now these types of neighborhoods and areas, obviously, schools and stuff, they're being in place. The houses are going to be move-in ready, meaning that you oftentimes can close and move in faster. The trade-off, again, these homes tend to attract more competition because they're already existing. All right. So the more competition there is, the greater there is chance for a price increase. Supply and demand, guys. Real conversation. Now, for buyers who desire a proven location and immediate availability, these types of homes are probably a better bet. All right. Again, they're established. They're usually already somewhere where you want to be, move-in ready most times, fairly competitive market, but being prepared is key for you to win in this. A new construction is best for those who just want it simple. There's some people that just don't want a pre-owned home. I want brand new. I get it. I get it. Makes perfect sense. I get it. I don't want something that's some. I get it. Heard all of that, right? New construction homes usually come with a lot of advantages. Current market builders are offering incentives. I'm gonna be very clear. They weren't doing it before. They may stop doing it. They're probably gonna stop doing it here soon. When that happens, we'll be to a more traditional market, even as it relates to new construction. But if you're a buyer looking in this current market, there are opportunities for you to get an amazing deal based upon what is currently being offered. Okay. So I want to be clear in that and not let you miss out on the opportunity, just because there may be a lack of, or maybe not as much understanding as it relates to how these things work. Make sure you talk with someone. Make sure I'm throwing my hand up, available to talk with you, to meet with you, to kind of discuss what options may be better and best for you. But new homes, new constructions tends to have lower maintenance, because everything is brand new. And oftentimes the layouts are functional because why? Because builders research, they do surveys. Hey, what do you like? What do you not like? And they create floor plans that work with that. Then manufactured modulars. Guys, a reminder, we have the manufactured modular home uh, arm here at our company. So we're here to be able to assist you with those options as well. These offer one of the strongest value props, value propositions in the current housing market. Is the blend of new construction at a lower cost by systematizing the build, by taking the construction off site, which is ripe for delays and cost overruns because of materials being lost, left, whatever. Other options do exist, usually at a lower cost. Now, there are some situations, depending upon, it could be equivalent, could be more, depending upon how custom of a home that we're building. But most times, it's very rare that I see costs higher. Usually it's going to be lower to do construction with a manufactured home, or using using modular style of construction. And you can even do modular on a custom home as well, guys. So there's a lot to know about there as well. Now, understand that these types of homes have come a long way. I was just in a meeting recently. They're not your manufactured homes of yesterday. They're not what they used to be. They are very, very, very different, much higher quality, much, much, much more durable. So make sure that you keep that in mind as well. But these homes typically have a lower cost per square foot. Again, you have the quality, but most importantly, they're budget friendly. For flexibility, putting it all together, buying a manufactured home, going into a larger piece of land somewhere, gives a buyer the ability to choose more so than not. So for buyers who want to be intentional about where, quote unquote, they plant themselves, school district, the community, the setting. Maybe you want chickens, maybe you want a farm, maybe you're old, or Miss McDonald or what have you. This allows you to be able to pull all that stuff together, and you can do this with manufacture, with modular, and with a custom built home as well. So you definitely have options. So smart buyers think differently. They focus on the outcomes and they don't necessarily listen to all the noise, all the opinions. So you have to be very careful with this, because it is very, 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 very easy to get pulled into the fray, meaning that you start focusing on what people are saying, trying to match your situation to somebody else's outcome. There's so many things and so many variables in there. Smart buyers don't do that. They also stay flexible. What's most important? Is it the location? Is it the style of house? Is it the price? You got to put things in order, because everything is not equally important. There's one thing that stops all. Your budget defines what you can buy. So what you want to pay, that's here, and then we have to match everything else the best with it. You may not be able to get everything, and you have to be okay with that. Smart buyers also explore multiple paths. Maybe they're looking at pre-owned and new construction. Maybe they're looking at manufactured modular options along with new construction as far as a comparison. Maybe they want to be more rural, so they're kind of looking at everything and every option that exists. Short version, you have to explore multiple paths so you can make sure that you're being definitive and choosing the one that works better and best for you. Now, here's what most buyers do wrong, and this is fairly consistent across all genres, if you will. They lock into one option too early. They don't think about it. They don't compare. I just want this. Boom, that's it. They ignore the alternatives. Somebody who doesn't want to live in a rural area, or say they don't, may ignore a wonderful opportunity simply because they were closed off to that alternative. And then they wait for perfect conditions. We talked about this. There's interest rates, you don't know when they're going down or going down until they've been up. You don't know when they're going up until they've been down. It's always hindsight. You can always reposition yourself on the interest rate, which is a conversation that we had in one of our previous sessions. So understanding that and waiting for the rates to drop or whatever else to happen, you have no control over that. While rates are still climbing, prices are still climbing, and you could very well end up paying more for a house, if rates do come down, getting a lower rate, but still having a payment higher than what you would have had if you would have bought it with the higher rate, and the rates do come down, refinance into an even lower payment. Winning is not perfection. Here's what winning looks like. It looks like getting yourself, your family, or whoever it is with you, if anybody is with you, or just you, into a home that works for you. Finding the one that fits your life today and that doesn't hinder you from getting to what you may want in the future. Winning is also building equity. Owning a home is people with wealth own real estate. So every mortgage payment helps you to increase your percentage of ownership, if you will, free and clear. Every year in your home helps you to grow your net worth. You're also creating stability. Homeownership gives roots to people. Children of homeowners become homeowners. That's a real statistic. So it helps to remove the uncertainty of, hey, I'm gonna have to move. Hey, I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, my rent is going up. Oh, this needs to be done. It's not getting done, whatever it may be. So make sure that you're paying attention to that as well. So this is where the strategy comes into play. How to structure the deal, the best deal that works for you. So home buyers that understand this process, guys, the ones who understand this process, know it's also beyond just finding, if you will, the right property in theory. It is about how you structure your deal. So the available programs, which we talked about some of those in a previous session. So if you qualify for down payment assistance, if you qualify for other loan programs that will help offset, maybe you qualify for a program that offers 100% financing so you don't have a down payment. Maybe you qualify for a program that offers closing cost assistance. So you can put those two together sometimes and not have a down payment or closing costs that you have to pay out of pocket. Understand how to combine assistance when it is possible. Again, this is strategy, knowing what programs exist and knowing what you can put together. Then focus on the total cost, not just the price. Yeah, the price may be higher, but if your cost of ownership is lower, that's still a win. So understanding how to put all those things together, guys, is key. So you want to make sure that you're working with someone who understands that and can help you put all that stuff together. So you got to shift your thinking. And what I mean by shift your thinking, you have to get away from thinking about uh just the price of the house. Yes, home prices are higher than what they have been. Yeah, they are. They are. They are. They are higher than what they have been. But at the same time, the opportunity for you to build wealth, the opportunity for you to get yourself into, into a situation where you can have a lower payment still exists by leveraging again assistance programs, etc. It's cost versus price. I've shared for years that most people would buy a Mercedes if they could drive that Mercedes for the same price or same cost. I'm sorry, not price, but cost as a Chevy or another, not speaking ill of any brands, but a lesser expensive brand. So figuring out how to structure the deal helps you to get to that payment that'll work better and best for you. Again, fixating just on a listing price is not going to get you there. If you're paying $1,900, $2,000, $2,300 a month in rent, and you can buy a new home that is comparable in size for a payment that is less than what you're currently paying in rent, don't that kind of make sense? Even if the home is 300,000 or more, doesn't that kind of make sense? So purchase price is your starting point, guys, but it's not the entire story. So don't get fixated there. Focus on your monthly payment. That's what you got to pay every month. That's going to be based upon your income. That's going to get you where you need to go. And then structuring the right deal. Again, any programs you qualify for, loan types that you qualify for, will help you to get everything in line and get everything to work the way that you want it to do. So here's how deals come together, guys. It's right home, right location, right program, right financing. That's how you put it all together. And all those things kind of converge and kind of come into the center and become what is right for you. This is how you get the deal together for you. So you have more control than what you think. And let me explain what this means for you as a consumer, as a buyer in this current market. One of the biggest misconceptions and common beliefs that holds buyers back is that feeling of quote unquote being stuck. Like, I can't get anything done. I don't have any options. Oh, I can't afford this. I don't qualify for this. And people talk themselves out of buying a home before they even start. Guys, we're going to break that today. That belief is not accurate. The reality is that even in today's home buyer market, buyers have more access to different ways to home ownership, to more programs, and more flexibility in it all than ever before. Because these programs are created to help buyers get unstuck. It's kind of like, okay, look, I know I need chains on my tires maybe when I'm driving in the snow, right? Right? Chains on the tires were okay. We figured this out. We made chains to put on tires because we had to drive in snow. So just like you all are trying to figure out how to operate and maneuver in the current market, programs are being designed to help you navigate and move through the market better and help you to achieve home ownership. So you're not limited to one path. Let's be clear. There are distinctive ways for you to get to home ownership, and you're not stuck with the right strategy, with the right person. And I'm putting my hand up again, guiding you to maneuver through the programs and the process. You can achieve home ownership. That's what we're here for. So understand that the right opportunity is available right now. You don't have to wait. Programs, the inventory is good, the market conditions exist today, and that's not in some future that's not quote unquote, or in theory, not here or never gets here, this is a ripe opportunity for you to own a home. People will tell you, people will say this and uncertainty and that, but the people who really make things happen, make them move during those uncertain times. I hate to even say it, but I feel that's an opportune time to say COVID. People thought the real estate market was going to crash, that nobody, people stopped buying homes, but the people who bought homes during COVID, most of them have seen 25, 30% increases overall. And I saw statistics on this fairly recently in the price pre-COVID till today. So if you bought a home for $300,000 back before COVID, it's probably worth 400 or more thousand now. Ain't that a win? But the people who failed to act during that time period, the people who hesitated, the people who said, oh no, those people missed out on the opportunity. And certain markets is where wealth is created. That's where millionaires are born, in uncertainty. So you got to figure out whether or not you want to be a part of that or not. But you have to be willing to act. Remember that knowledge without action produces nothing, guys. Nothing, nothing, nothing. If you knew better, you do better. So now you know. So let's get to doing. So I want you guys to really focus on how we're going to put this into action. You have the knowledge, you have the framework, and the mindset to move yourself forward with strategy, not just haphazardly, but with strategy. So we want to review your options, want to identify your best path, and we want to put together that plan and move forward intentionally towards it. Make sure that you do not hesitate. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity, guys, to make a difference. Remember that every buyer needs a guide. Every buyer needs a guide, someone to help them through. The difference between a buyer who succeeds and one who struggles is usually not about the money. It's not about when they decided to buy. It's about who they have in their corner. Do you have someone who is knowledgeable, who's going to give you some information, help you interpret the information you may discover on your own, and give you guidance and help you walk through the process while reassuring you? It's hard to achieve home ownership. It's more difficult when you're not prepared. And it's extremely difficult when you don't have the right advocate, the right guide along the way. Imagine trying to climb a mountain over in the Himalayas without a Sherpa, without a guide. How difficult do you think that would be? So having the right person to guide you through is going to make a difference in this. So my question to you is, who's guiding you? Who's helping you through this process of home ownership? And I hope and I trust that you'll make the decision to, one, use someone. And I always bear in mind, this is my video, this is my session with you all, and I'm giving you this, but I'm not so vain as to believe that you should only work with me. But I will tell you that I'm here to help you, that I'm here and willing to help you, and to understand what your situation is, what your motivation is, and to guide you the proper way. So guys, look, this concludes our session today, maximizing your home ownership opportunities. I want you all to stay tuned. We do have an upcoming one last session coming up next week, and then we'll be moving on to another series, which I will not announce just yet. Don't want to, quote unquote, take or steal, take away my thunder, if you will. But guys, I want to really tell you how much I appreciate you. Thank you all for tuning in. And with that being said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. You can reach us here at our office, 843-619-3005. Again, 843-619-3005. Talk to you soon.